Justice. Justice is one of the most important principles of our lives, one of the most necessary processes in our society. But what really is justice? Justice isn't merely fairness, because fairness isn't always just. Justice isn't merely the law of the land, because some of our laws can be viewed as unjust, created a long time ago by a system that didn't treat some of us like humans. So what I've learned this past semester about justice is that it's not just one of these terms, but rather it is a fluid combination of all of them, while still allowing context to dictate the majority of its definition. Merriam-Webster defines justice as the maintenance or administration of what is just, especially by the impartial adjustment of conflicting claims or the assignment of merited rewards or punishments. That seems a little academic, doesn't it? Justice can't just be defined by academia. It must also be defined by actions. It must be defined by the way we treat those around us. Some people say justice is the process of individuals getting what they deserve. But how can the 7 billion people on this planet agree on what one person deserves? Is that too broad? Let's focus on just the United States. How can over 320 million people possibly decide what one individual deserves? It clearly hasn't been working recently. With the police brutality and the unjust slaughterings of minority groups by power-hungry law enforcement officers in over-policed neighborhoods, the mass incarceration of African Americans were crimes that shouldn't have landed them in jail. But that is the problem with justice in this country, isn't it? It's nowhere to be found. If you have a group of people of a movement, per se, its whole message is that a large group of individuals are being treated unjustly, and the government does nothing to respond, then maybe there is a problem with justice in this country. If an innocent woman is killed in her home while she sleeps, and the government of the United States knows everything there is to know about her aggressors, yet they're not in jail, doesn't that sound like a justice issue? When a young teenager crosses state lines with weaponry and goes to a protest in a city that isn't his and decides to play vigilante, but is praised by the majority of the country after shooting protesters, doesn't that sound like a justice issue? Justice is the fair and equal treatment of those around us, not the police brutality that goes on in this country targeting African Americans. Justice is a fair court system, not the judicial system we have now that targets young African American men and oppresses them in a system designed for real convicts. Justice in this country is lost, and it's our job to find it.